when they think about East Caicos, it's kind of like that island that's far off that nobody really talks about, right? And it's at the back of their head. And I really wish more people would go there and to experience it and see it in its natural, raw state.
So I walked all over from Goods Hill near South Caicos, Drum Point, down to almost to Middle Caicos. Or every part of East Caicos I've been over, hunting wild cow.
A pictogram?
Yes, you face. See it?
Yeah, wow.
So there were about 25 pictograms in this gallery.
Wow.
Take the time, and educate yourself about the cultural and environmental heritage of the people of the Turks and Caicos Islands and the land and what we offer here and the beauty, and not just, our sun and sea.
East Caicos is the fourth largest island in the Turks and Caicos Islands, measuring 18 square miles. East Caicos is considered a tropical jewel as it remains uninhabited. It possesses a unique ecosystem of indigenous palm trees, mangroves, and freshwater ponds. Although uninhabited by humans, East Caicos is home to a plethora of wildlife species: flamingos, ospreys, sharks, stingrays, whales, and turtles, just to name a few.
So marine life that's just a very large topic. And if I just bring it back to the kind of the building blocks of marine life would be our benthic, what we call benthic organisms. So that's everything that's connected to the ocean floor. And coral is a really big part of that. So coral reefs create the cities for the ocean. And then that marine life that we depend on for our food source, specifically if we're talking about the different fish stocks and conch and lobster, but also the physical land that we're standing on is an ancient coral reef. We are a limestone island, and this land is physically made of coral. If you were to cut us in half, you would actually see fossils in the island that are coral. So that's quite important to know, that for the Turks and Caicos Islands, the coral reefs are the source of everything here. And then of course we have our economic prosperity is very dependent on our beautiful waters and our beautiful beaches. Here we depend on the ocean for everything. I mean, we drink salt water. We just take the salt out of it. We really depend on the ocean for everything.
So East Caicos is a really important nesting site for sea turtles. So we get green turtles that go there, and hawksbill as well, throughout the year, and they lay their eggs on the nesting beaches. And where the banks are, you have seagrass beds that are grazing habitats. So the way turtles' sex is determined is based on temperature. So the higher the temperature, the higher the probability that you'll have a female turtle, and the lower the temperature, the higher the probability that it'll be a male turtle. And because of climate change, what is happening, the temperatures are rising, and we're having a feminization of sea turtles. So you're having more females being born than males, and this is something that is happening globally. And the turtles in East Caicos, it's a key nesting site. So we try to monitor those nesting sites to see what's happening to the species.
A coral is a small animal called a polyp, and a polyp lives as a colony with many genetic clones of itself, and those create a coral colony. So when you see one coral, that's actually hundreds of animals all living together. And at night, they actually stretch out their hands, their tentacles, and they can feed. You can see that there are different species of brain coral there compared to these ones where you can actually see the mouth that's open.
The Oxford Learner's Dictionary defines bush medicine as traditional medical treatments often made from plants used in communities. The Turks and Caicos Islands is home to over 550 plant species. Many of which possess medical qualities. And can be found on the island of East Caicos.
Mommy, my stomach hurts. Go break up some snake stick.
Mommy, I don't feel so well. I think I caught the flu from Daddy.
You know, there's some sarsaparilla in the pot.
He finished all of that.
Well, go in the yard, cut some fever grass.
Okay.
Good morning, Mrs. Forbes. Yes, this is she. I was just calling to say that Jessica won't be at school today. Yes, she has the belly. Yeah. I gave her some naked wood medicine. Yes, you've never heard of naked wood? Yes, that's what we give when you have the belly. Yes. Yes, I agree. We have to keep the devil out. We definitely have to keep the devil out. Anyway, thanks for understanding, and you have a good day, okay? Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Good morning, Miss Stubbs.
Hi.
It's Jessica in.
Hi. She's going to be out in a second. What happened? You got bit?
Oh yeah, the mosquitoes got me bad last night.
Wow. You know mosquitoes love foreign blood. Jessica, go out back, get some aloes for your little friend. Yeah, Jessica's going to get something for you. And you can just take the aloe and rub it on all of this. That will stop the itching.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Thank
Okay?
you.
Yeah.
Deforestation means taking away the forest. So for us, what that could mean, what we call bush. So it's taking away the bush. It's taking an acre of land and clear cutting it without any regard for the species that were there. That causes land to be less solid. So for many countries, deforestation becomes a problem with mountains and rain and flood like this. But for us, what's happening is we're deforesting and then we're putting concrete and pavement, and there is nowhere for the water to go. And water does have to go somewhere. And, you know, we are really, we're paving paradise, and that's going to become a problem.
One of the main thing is that nothing is there. There's no proper infrastructure. So that's one of the main difference. It's just raw, natural, untouched landscape. So in pretty much most islands, there's some kind of development, some kind of infrastructure. On East Caicos, there's nothing there really. It's just nature as is. Get in there. Getting there is always fun, except when you're going through the cut between middle and east. There's a cut there. Oh my God. Because you go on a little fishing boat. So you get one of the conch boats to take you over. And it takes several hours to even get there when you go around where the banks are, because the waves, you know, they're really powerful. Going there really reinforces how powerful nature is, because those waves they're crazy. They're mad waves. But the island itself is beautiful. I think it looks like what Provo would have looked like maybe in the 50s or the 60s before all of this development took place, before anything was there, and it's just nature in its natural state.
The promise of sustainable development, of creating eco-resorts out there. The thing is, once you set a precedence, you set a precedence for development, and the next one that comes along may not be. Like, I'm from Provo. My family's been in Provo for 45 years. But I think of Provo kind of as like, you know, the sacrificial island now as far as tourism is considered. Not that we are not still at a precipice where we can do it better and we can do it right. I don't think Provo is lost yet. I don't think that's fair. We have so much environment here that is still in pristine condition and can be preserved. But we have taken the plunge on this island to put in all of that development infrastructure. I just don't even think it would actually be financially viable to make East Caicos like Provo. But it's not a good idea.
East Caicos is adored and appreciated for its wildlife. We visited the turtles. We visited the birds. And now let's move over to the cultural and historical significance that East Caicos holds. East Caicos is home to plantations, Goods Hill and Jacksonville. Our team took a trip to Jacksonville, which was used as a sisal plantation. Back in the 1880s, the slaves would use this track as a causeway to load and transport the sisal via donkeys. However, the workload was not conducive to profits, so operations on Jacksonville ceased in the early 1900s. It is said many slaves stayed on, as their homes were on Jacksonville. However, many left due to the harsh living conditions.
On Jacksonville, there's a plantation still standing today. And because of this plantation, people worked there. So there is an abundance of fruit trees still there. The railroad tracks is still on East Caicos, where they would take it's still there. The sisal, the donkeys, still there on East Caicos, you know, and we've seen the donkeys, and we've seen the donkey poop, and, you know, we've been to Donkey Trail. There are a number of caves on East Caicos where you can see, and the writings also, they're still there, where people live there. Definitely you can see where the Arawak people lived, because there's still drawings in these caves. There's still, and we've had people been there and have taken pictures, have recorded all of these items. And the guana stills, we have bats' presence in the caves. And so this mining was, an industry that created financial benefits for the Turks and Caicos Islands via East Caicos.
I love turtles, can't eat a turtle, but it's culturally significant to eat it. And I can't say to you, as an environmentalist, I can't look at you and who it's our culture to eat turtles to say don't eat turtles. But how can I minimize that impact? How it would say, okay, all right, you're gonna do this anyways. I can't tell you not to because it's a part of our culture. So how can culture and conservation work hand in hand? Okay, if you're gonna take turtles, maybe have a size restriction on which ones you can take. Maybe not take the babies, maybe not take the breeders, but the middle guy, maybe do that. So it's kind of finding a middle ground. Everything in life, it's all about balance.
On the next episode of the East Caicos Project.
There are ways that you could have a nature reserve there and use that to get international recognition, something along the lines of a UNESCO site, where you would then get money coming in from international organizations towards the management or preservation of East Caicos. So there are ways to do it, but I think we have enough space around the Turks and Caicos that we can continue to profit for as many decades and centuries as our people really want to, and still leave East Caicos alone.
Whether a person cares about East Caicos or not is heavily dependent on their affinity or their attachment to that island, or if they've interacted with it, or if they have any kind of heritage. So I did a whole thesis on coastal cultural values, and these are the non-material benefits that we get from the natural world.
Through interviewing and talking with these people, they talk about how East Caicos fed the whole of the Turks and Caicos Islands because of the abundance of wildlife and fish and lobsters and conch on East Caicos.
I believe that there aren't many places in our region like East Caicos that's untouched, and I believe that there should be a consciousness in what we are going to do, how we are going to develop the island. It's easy to put up a hotel anywhere. Maybe not so easy, but you could put up a hotel anywhere. If the natural island is changed, you can't just unchange it and remove a hotel or something like that. So I believe that what we have there must be careful development.